Hello, it's Thursday already. Week went by really fast, didn't it? How's it going? How's my friends doing today? I just got back from picking up some furniture from a lady, a customer, a lady, yes, but a customer. Got some really cool dressers, a really pretty washstand. So that's going to be, I took it home because I don't have room in my back room right now, something in my eyeball. So when you hop on, say hi. I have realized that I was talking to Gary Ann today and I was like, you know, I don't have one candlestick in my house that like I painted. I have candlesticks, but they're random ones. I don't even know where I got them from. Like I've had them for 100 years and they're not even my style or what I like. So I had picked up this really cool. There's 3 of them. Oh God, that's a ton. I guess. Focus. What's it focusing on? Come on, there we go. This one literally is 3 foot tall. And then there's another one. So I picked up a set when I was out picking. Why is it not focusing? I hate this camera so much. You don't even know how much I hate this camera. And it's weird because that's a camera. I say that every time, but I guess I should return it when I have a chance. Is it focus? Is my face focus? No. There we go. Hi. So this candlestick is literally, see that? Like, there's 3. I have this one. I have the next size. And then I have the baby one. So in reality, let me see if I can get out of focus again. This one, it's tall. But I realized that I didn't have any in my house that I had. Why is that? And another funny thing about these candlesticks, this candlestick is 29 inches. 2 foot 5, almost 2.5 feet tall. It's tall. But you know what's funny and what I did notice? And I threw a level up here at the top of this thing. Look at it. You can probably see it from there. Turn it. It is so crooked. Like it needs to be tilted that much to make it straight. So I have a plan. I'm going to take these home, okay? But I do have a plan. And my plan is to put, I don't know if you've seen them, and I've done it here, and I sold them all, is to take some floral foam on the top and put succulents coming down on this one, because you can't put a candle because it's going to be like this. I'm like, how am I going to fix that? And I looked at the candlestick itself to see if it had been broken and glued. A lot of times that's what happens. They get broken and then somebody glues them. Nope, not at all. So this baby girl is ornate. I'm going to lay it down this way so you guys can actually see it. The finish on these is a factory finish, right? And made in China. They try to make them look like how I paint them, but no bueno. I mean, it's from far away, they don't look bad, but up close, they're a hot mess. So I did wash them with Dixie Belle's White Lightning. I actually threw them in the sink and used my sprayer. I used a rubber brush and kind of scrubbed them. They were really gross. Whoever had them in their house was not, they were pretty gross. So I washed them already. And I'm just going to throw a coat of black on here because that's going to be my base. The hardest part about these kind of candlesticks, at least, is to get, I really want to get the black in all the nooks and crannies. Because they're not going to be black candlesticks. They're going to pull out to be a neutral candlestick. But I want to get it up into all the nooks and crannies. So that way, the black will be like behind the seams and all the recessed. You get your brush really good in there and really push it down. And I am using my Klingon R12, which is a great smaller head brush. These brushes take a lot of abuse. I have 2 of these and I love them. These little smaller detail items, little things. Just gonna go in there. Don't forget to also do the underneath side of your candlesticks. You gotta turn them upside down. This one's laying down, so it's a little easier. But just beat the heck out of them and get the paint really in there, right? Who's with me today? What are you guys doing? So I'm a little bit earlier than normal because we changed our store hours. So the store is now closing at 4 p.m. during the week. So I usually come on at 4 p.m. Mountain Time to do Thrifty Thursday. But since we're closing at 4, I figured I'm going to be coming on anytime between 3:30 and 4 every Thursday. I'm signed up for a text messages thing, but I haven't tried it yet. Of course, I pay for it. Not my story of my life. Pay for something and then don't use it, right? So if you are in I'm going to try to do that. But then I was reading about it, and I think it's going to be a little expensive, so I may not use that. So just put it on your calendar anywhere between 3:30 and 4 o'clock. I guess I can post it, but when I post it on my page, you know what happens? Somebody walks in that needs to talk to me, and then I get messed up. So if you can't catch me live, don't worry. I barely ever catch anybody live, right? I'm always working or busy. So I watch the replays. When I watch replays, it's every morning when I'm sitting in my vanity and I'm putting my makeup on. Does anybody else do that? That's how I catch everybody that I follow live. My business coach, I catch her every morning because I don't have a chance to go when they're live. It's all different times. So I know that probably 95% of the people that follow me are not when I'm live, which is fine. So I'm gonna laying this thing down was actually a little bit easier than painting it standing up. So I'm using Dixie Belle's Caviar as my base. And if you are on here, I see there's a few of you on here, I would love if you just said hi. Let me know you're watching. So the whole purpose of putting this black on is to really get all into all the detail part, because that's not going to get painted again. That's going to shine through dark. I'm actually going to bring this up to like warmer tones, neutrals, off-white, some burlap kind of colors. So I wanted to get the black really down into the base, into every little nook and crook and crevice. So anywhere where I see white, not even so much on the top, but mostly just to really use my brush to get down into all this really deep crevices, because that's still going to show. That's what's going to highlight it. I'm not going to make you guys watch me read this whole thing. It's 2.5. But it's really important to get it all in there and get it to just really, really down those crevices, because when we build it out, you'll see why. So I already did this one that's sitting behind me before I came live. My arm was tired from doing this on that thing. There's a lot of little fissures and holes and reveals on this thing. That's why you always want to use good quality brushes, you guys. That way you can tap, 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 get in there, doing all the things you need to do. So exciting news. I am on July 8th going to start do Facebook Lives, selling things, because a lot of you can't make it into the store. You know, you live in a different city, you live in a different state, you live here in Idaho, but you know what, we're busy. You're working like I am. I never get to leave, and I get it. And it's easier to shop from your couch. So I am going to start curtailing and doing a curating. I say curtailing, I'm tired. Curating some really cool collections for you guys. I'm going to do some giveaways. I have a really cool program that's going to just invoice you automatically same day. It's going to include the shipping if you want shipping. If you don't want shipping, you just put local pickup. So I'm going to do that because I need you guys to start seeing what we have in here. And when you need a gift, I would love for it to be available to you. So it's going to go, it's super easy. The checkout will happen automatically for you. As soon as you say you want it, it'll be put in the cart. As soon as I'm done with the live, it'll send you an invoice. You click the link, you pay for it. Done deal. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I try to make it as easy as possible, and it's going to have a detail of everything you bought. It's going to have a photo on it. Isn't that cool? I'm super stoked. I tested it today, and it works really neat. Couple little bugs. Now I've got to load all the stuff into the system, which I have a pretty good grip on it, but I have a little bit more. So I'll be working on that, hence the reason it's not going to be till July 8th. And I actually have a bunch of company coming in a week. So my husband's big birthday party is July 4th, which is hard to believe. That's 2 weeks from tomorrow. And all of his family, like he has 10 siblings, okay? All of them, but I think 1 are coming, and his mom is coming. His dad has been deceased since he was 14, so 15. But they're all coming. They all live in California. They're all coming to see us and hang out. My husband's going to be 70. I know. He looks like a cradle robber. Actually, we're only 9 years apart. So he's going to be 70 July 4th. So I told him that we need to have a party. His birthday is always the 4th of July. And, you know, it's always the same. It's always a holiday, and we get fireworks and all that. He never does because he falls asleep too quick. But we usually have a family thing in California at my aunt's house, but I decided to do it at our house. We got the pool and everything. And so I have all of my in-laws coming, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-laws, my brother-in-laws. And my cousin on my mom's side is coming with all of her kids. It's going to be so fun. I was like, I didn't know that everybody was going to come, and it's so exciting. So I will be busy that week. There will be no Thrifty Thursday on July 3rd. That's actually my granddaughter's 2nd birthday. Can you guys believe she can be 2 now already? That little snot, she will be 2 years old already. Doesn't it seem like she was just born? Seriously. She's 2 going on 13. She's so cute and fun. Just love her little face so much. So we got a coat of black on here. I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to finish the rest. I'm just going to put this one to the side because I've already got the other one done. Hi, Ronnie. So I don't know if you caught it, Ronnie, but I'm starting a little bit earlier because of the fact that I am closing the store. Closes at 4 now. Which is right now. So we're officially closed. So I'm going to try to go a little bit earlier. That way I can leave a little bit earlier too. So I'm just going to wipe this paint off. Actually, I think I'm going to grab a new brush because that's not what I want to do. I'm going to try to find another small brush like that. Nope, that's not it. Let's see it. Let me see if I can find the brush I'm looking for. Oh, over there in my brain. Okay. So now I'm going to use another one of my R12s, but I'm going to grab some paint. Move the camera so I can get behind here. I'm thinking the neutrals. Burlap? Ooh, I'm almost out of burlap. Dang it. And see if there's a 16-ounce burlap with me. Please. Thank you. Oh, really? Dang it. Okay. Okay, well, I'm just going to use a little bit of burlap so I get my order in. I hate using 8-ounce jars of paint. Okay, move you back. We're going to do this one. I guess I can stand it up. Let me get it close, so you can see like what we're doing. Because this is like, but I only need a little bit. So that's why I'm thinking it'll work. I may have to bust open the 8-ounce. What other color do I have in another brand that's close? All right, burlap. Got some ecru, which is one of Dixie Belle's newest colors. And I will show you guys in just a second. We've got, you know, my favorite. Can't do a piece. Yes, Ronnie. Bye, Garian. We're going to start a half an hour earlier because I'm closing the store an hour earlier now. So the store is officially closed. So yes, I close at 4 o'clock now. I know you don't live here, so you know that. So burlap, sawmill gravy, ecru, and magnolia. They're all really close shades, right? Very similar shades. The cool part about these colors is that you're really not going to see them until we start adding them. So we're just going to do a little bit of paint. And we're just going to start dry brushing over the top of this. So the black is the base, and that's the caviar. Okay. Do you see the detail just pop suddenly? Like no other, like boom shakalaka, like how we went from this to this with a tiny drop of paint. Isn't that insane? When you use a brush that has a nice fat tip, you're just going to, or fat head, I haven't dipped it in any more paint. You need such little paint, it's crazy. You're just going to brush it over the top. Because these candlesticks have so much detail in them, all of a sudden they're going to come to life, like literally come to life. And if you have too much paint, you'll muddy up your surface, and you don't want to muddy up your surface. I don't even look like when I paint with this because my brush is nice and fat and feathered. It's just from years of use. Look at how cool that is. You see like the huge difference. Then on the same area, we can start with the next color. So when I talk hardly any paint and then I dab it off and where I have even less paint, I'm going to start layering. Do you see now how the sawmill gravy is just highlighting that stuff that I just did? What that effect has done is now it's just going to start layering the colors out, and it's going to add more dimension than you ever had before. The secret is not too much paint. Not too much paint. And believe it or not, that's why I had to get into all those holes to get that black in there. I didn't want the white shining through. I wanted it to all of a sudden just that little of paint. Can you see it? Then wipe it off. So then it's still that little of paint. What it's doing is you can see it. It's highlighting, right? It's highlighting the burlap that's on there. Remember, these colors are all in the same like hue. They're all neutrals. So if you use colors that are all in the same kind of hue, you're just going to pull it out and you're just going to start giving it dimension, one layer at a time. I think the thing that a lot of people struggle with is just, do you see me taking my time? I'm literally running this brush over the top of this. Hi, Christy. Yes. So then I have the two lighter colors, these two. So I'm going to take a little bit of this one, which is the ecru. It's a different white. They're all close, but it's still just that little bit of dimension. That's what I'm going for, is a little bit of dimension. I'll run it across, I'll dot it. I want that black to shine through behind it. And then I'm going to go in. The last color is the new Dixie Belle Magnolia, which is a beautiful light colored white. It's going to give me another highlight, a lighter one. This now looks like stone. Old concrete that's been sitting out. Gosh, this is pretty. Yay, I'm glad I did these. These are for me. These are not for sale. These are going in my house. Hey, look it, I said it. I'm actually going to take something home. Probably because I got company coming. I want them to be pretty. So I'm just up. I used too much paint on that one. You see that right there? I got a little carried away. I'm just going to wipe it off, and then I'm just going to kind of go over. If you get carried away and you add a little bit, you're never going to see it. You could always paint black there again, and then just in that spot and work it up. Okay, you guys. So now look at what look we've got. We've got the really cool look of textured stone. Now, if you wanted to get crazy, you could add some gilding wax to the top of this, right? You could do something like that. Keep going up. I'm gonna start with the burlap again. Just a little tiny bit. I'm gonna wipe it off. All I'm doing is tapping it off. I have a tablecloth here that's paper on my table. You can use a paper towel. Don't tap it off on your table. And then we're just going to go, and I really like the look of this burlap. I may go back down here and add some more. I'm loving, okay, so I just took my brush and added it back so that it's going to be on top now. I kind of like it. So there's no rhyme or reason to why you can't go back over what you just did and add in that color again, because I'm loving the warmth of the burlap. The hutch that I have in there and my table kind of have these colors in them, but not exactly. So I'm just going to add a little bit more. There we go. Now it has a little bit of a caramel-y warmth to it. Okay. But we're going to start the same up here. Easy. Has anybody done this? And you know what? It's even easier if the piece that you're doing has all the intricate stuff on it already, right? Makes it easier. I'm just running my brush over it. Fat, fluffy brush. Now, if you buy a brush from me, it's not going to be fat and fluffy like this. It's going to look like this. Same exact brush, you guys, believe it or not. So this is a brand new R12. This is an 8-year-old R12 from me. This brush will still do this, but it'll be smaller pits, and I would probably use a brand new paintbrush like the 040 because the head would be like about the size of this. My brushes are old, so the older they get, the better they get. So no, you can't buy my brushes from me. I mean, my used ones. I have people ask me all the time. I'm like, nope. Especially in class, they're like, can we have this brush? I said, no. That's why I collect them. And before everybody's done, I'm just a parent. I'm just kidding. But so I'm just running my brush over because it is nice and fat and fluffy and pretty. But can you tell the difference between how just this is just flat still until we add the depth with all the colors? So I hope that you just take little bites of corresponding colors. Now, it doesn't have to be neutrals. You could have done all shades of blue. You could have done all shades of green. You could have done blue and red and purple and whatever you're into. But it's just bites of paint, you guys. Bites. When I say bites, I mean bites of paint. And it's a dry brush. And a super light touch, okay? I could do the same thing with the new brush. I could. I don't want to show you that because I want to sell those new brushes, but Another color, just a little bit off of the other one. This is the ecru. It's so slight, but it gives me so much dimension. That's the beauty of using all these different colors. And when I'm just dusting across it, like right here, it's just barely catching the side of it and giving me a dimension, right, that I didn't have before. And then we go in with the last color, which is Magnolia, which is the whiter color. And it all of a sudden ties it together. Fluff would be close to Magnolia if you have Dixie Belle's Fluff. Dixie Belle has some amazing neutrals right now. They have a bunch of shades of white, which I'm digging because you never thought that you could do all the whites together and come up with such a cool look, right? And just by lightly going over the top, I'm going to go back in with some of that burlap. Remember when we did it down here, we just added some of that warmth back in, just tipping it. It's the first layer and it's the last layer. I'm loving these candlesticks. I am glad I'm going to take them home. I may finish them now because I know I need to. I'll stage and show you guys a picture when I'm done. I didn't set my light up, so it's not that bright. You can't really see. There we go. And then the top, I didn't do the top. It's taller than I am. Let's see. So burlap. Don't forget to do the underneath. This is a big candlestick. And it's hefty too. Then I'm going to go with sawmill gravy. Stand it. Get off my butt. Little bits in the middle here. Actually, you're not going to see this well because you'll have a candle on it anyhow. A little bit of ecru, which is that other white. It's just layers, and the layers all of a sudden come together. And Magnolia, which is the whitest of them all. Then go back into the burlap. Tip it, tip it, tip it. I have to open that 8 ounce. Order some more. And there you have it. Look at how beautiful. So this is where we started. This is what it looked like, right? Just plain and ugly. Then we did the coat of black. From black, we went to la 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 boom. Look at how pretty. Isn't that stunning? It's really pretty. These are so ornate. Just my jam. Now, as I'm thinking of it, I do like the look, but I also love the look of I'm like in my own home, I'm more of a lesser. Let me see what this looks like. They're pretty, huh, Ronnie? I know I like them too. Come on. Let's see, this is probably all dried out. Oh, could get it all. This is Posh Chalk. Ooh, it's really thick. Metallic paste. Oh yeah. Yeah, she needs a little bit. I'm gonna use a brush because I think So this is a chalk paste, which is super thick, like a super thick. See that? I can barely, and I could probably put some more. Get it loosen up a little bit. It's pretty thick. You don't need to be this thick. This is by the people that make us. Would you bend? The paste is just as designed as like the accent stuff on a piece to just give it. There we go. When your products become too thick, most of them are water based. Just put a little bit of water. As you can see, I'm just using my mister as to not end up putting too much water. If I ran over to the sink, I would end up putting too much. Now that is like a super, super thick glue consistency. Check it out. A little bit on my finger right here and just like hit and then rub it on like certain areas just to give it a little more of a antique-y look. Oh yeah, baby. That's really pretty actually. You put it on, then you can just use your finger and kind of smush it. I'm just going to hit some of the highlight stuff, not going to go too crazy with it, so that it's just barely an accent. And there's no really rhyme or reason. Can you guys even see that? I should have brought my light over here so you can actually see it. There's really no rhyme or reason as to how I'm putting it on or where I'm putting it on. I'm just picking like the highlighted parts of it and sticking it on there. That way, just give it a little bit more of a, like I said, I don't do a lot of extra stuff like that. I don't like silver metallic stuff in the house, but this metallic is super warm. It's more like a bronzy color, which is actually going to go really well with stuff I have. There we go. So there, it's just giving me little tiny bits, just a little tiny bit, not a lot. Let's see when we do it. And if we didn't like it, we could seriously paint right over this stuff. It is water-based, so you could paint right over it if you end up going, yeah, I don't think so. But I think it's just going to be just such a tiny amount. Not even gonna know it's there. But if it wasn't there, it wouldn't be like, wow, cool, you know. So I'm just going to do one little section at a time, just kind of figuring where I want to hit it with my finger. And I like to use my finger, that way I just kind of get less instead of like going in and painting the whole thing up. Hi, Nita. Right? It's kind of cool. Let's go up. Like right here, these little guys. And like I said, I'm not trying to like make it perfect, right? I'm just going to give a little. I'm not even looking at this head on. You guys are seeing it head on. I'm kind of seeing it from the side. It does dry really fast, like the stuff on the end of the paintbrush that I just used. It's already drying. So I'm going to grab a little more fluid. So just a little bit on the little details. So yeah, starting July, it's going to be Tuesdays. I'm going to go live. I'm going to say 4:30 because I will be at the store by myself on Tuesday, so it'll take me time to get set up. I will be going live. So Ronnie, even you can get in on online shopping, and it'll be stuff that I never like had on the website because it's just so much work, but now I'm making myself do it. I will be pulling stuff from the vendor booths that are here. and I will be shipping. So if you mark your calendars for Tuesday, starting Tuesdays at 4:30 Mountain Time, so Ronnie, that's 6:30 your time, right after dinner, right when you've done the dishes and you're just settling down and relaxing. So that just gives it a little more fleet. A little more fruitful. I will be starting live selling live. So let me put my finger in this and just kind of like do that. I tell you, random is way better when you're doing stuff like this than making them all exactly the same. Chalk paste is really kind of a weird product. It's very thick. It's very, it dries so fast. And I like to just kind of use it and kind of smush it with my fingers, like my leftover fingers I don't have on. I use my ring finger to smush it on. Okay, perfect. Now I'm not going to wax these or anything because they're candlesticks, right? It's not going to matter. You know, paint is self-sealing. It doesn't need to be waxed. That stuff already dried on my fingers. You can just rub it off. But now you kind of get the whole look. See that now that I have the light. It's just enough, right? Not too much. Just enough. Little shimmy, shimmy. Shimmy, shimmy. What do you guys think? Wow. That's a huge difference, right? Who wouldn't want that candlestick over this ugly thing? Before and after, right? And then this other one's going to get done. So, before, during, done. What you think? What you think? What you think? So if you guys watch my watch, you know, when I do store tours and stuff, if there's things that you want me to put onto a live sale, let me know. Because I'm going to try to do things, obviously, that are not going to be super cumbersome to ship. There will be the option to local pickup, which would be free shipping, or shipping, you know, you'll have to pay for shipping. And we know shipping is not cheap, but I do have a shipping program that is a little bit more affordable. And I just charge you what it costs me. I'm not making money off of shipping. I don't do that. So because I got to source it, I got to find the box, I got to find the wrapping paper, I got to find all the things. But basically I put in a weight and a dimension and it charges you accordingly. So that is going to be fun. It's a lot of work behind the scenes for me. Oh, good. I'm glad your sister's going to check it out. Love it. Great. Thanks, you guys. But it's going to be fun because then I'll be able to ship to all of you that don't live here. And even if you do live here and you're like, I haven't been in there. Do you know how many people came in this week and told me, oh, I haven't been in here since you moved? Newsflash, 2 years I moved. So I thought, okay, how am I going to make it easier? People love the store, but they can't come in. They can't make it in. I get it. I'm busy too. So I will be your Amazon of Tona transformations. It won't be free shipping, but I will go broke with that. But, you know, to help everybody out. So I'm going to try to put everything that I possibly can in there. And I'm going to do it every Tuesday and see what happens. So if you have ideas for what you would like to see in that, there's not going to be furniture. I'm not shipping furniture. Now, if it's a table or something that maybe I can, because that's a freight thing. That's totally different than me sitting in a cardboard box and mailing it off, you know, and then just the liability for that. Like, and it gets broken, then it's on me and I wasted all my time and I got to do all that. Yeah, I know I do. I have a shipper like that for sure. Makes you want to paint, Anita? Well, girl, come on in. Come on in. Paint away. So easy. Wasn't that? These are beautiful candlesticks. They kind of did the work for me. This is why. These are going home with me. I am going to be stingy on that. I'm going to take them. But this big girl, okay, this, you can see the top now. See how crooked it is? Like, it is so, it goes like this. It is so crooked. I put the level on it and it's like this. So I'm going to go ahead and put a topiary up here of succulents and let it hang over and then put those two. But wouldn't that be pretty? I'm going to do that tomorrow. So I will post pictures when I'm done. Okay, well, it's 4:30. Time for me to go home. I'm gonna go swimming. It's 90 something today. Tomorrow's supposed to be in the 80s, and on Saturday it's supposed to be in the 60s. Can you believe that crap? I don't know what's going on with our weather. Seriously, 60s. How's a girl supposed to like swim in her pool if it's in the 60s? Because my ass ain't getting in nothing unless it's like the water's like 74 or higher, and it's got to be in the 90s because I freeze. When I was a kid, I swam in anything, but now I'm like, I'll sit on the deck and put my legs in, but I'm like, because like, right? Who wants to do that? So anyhow, you guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me on Thursday. So yes, from now on, whoops, forgot I was tethered. We are starting about 3:30ish, Ronnie. So sorry about that. So about 3:30ish, and then between 3:30 and 4. And if you don't catch me live, catch me on the replay and say hi, you guys. I love when you guys say hi. So for those of you that commented, Nita, Christy, Ronnie, how is my brother? Which brother? My brother's deceased, not my brother. You mean my son-in-law? My son-in-law is doing well, if that's what you're asking. He's doing really well. No, my brother passed away 2 years ago. I am an only child now, just me and my dad. So anyhow, you guys all have a fabulous weekend, and I hope to see you in the store if you're local. So tomorrow we are open from 10 to 4, and on Saturdays the hours are now 10 to 3. I have the vintage journal class on Saturday. Hardly anybody signed up, but I will still do the class because if you signed up, I'm here for you. But this is why I don't do classes in summer. Nobody wants to take them, but that class won't be repeated. Maybe next winter, if at all. So we'll see how it goes, but it's the butterfly journal. So cute. It's $58. Take you a couple hours. You get to take a vintage journal home with you. So you guys, if you have not doing anything on Saturday, it's going to be cold out. Come in and hang out with me. Sign up, though. Sign up. My son-in-law is doing great, Anita. Thank you. It's been a year and almost a half since he had brain surgery, and he's doing good. He's doing really good. He's a new normal. You know, he doesn't have any balance half the time, and he doesn't remember anything. But we make him write it down or put it in his phone. But yeah, no, he's with us, and he's kicking, and he's got 2 babies to run around and chase. So that's been fun. So anyhow, we had a great Father's Day with all of them, actually. So you guys go out, be fabulous, and I will see